You ever had a Red Bull? I never had a Red Bull before, but I had a Red Bull last night. I really like Red Bull.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and in this installment of Versus, we're lining up 3 of the most popular energy drinks on the market to see how they measure up in terms of caffeine boost, nutrition, and overall brand legacy. And be sure to stay tuned for my blind taste test too. If you have any questions about the health implications of energy drinks, please consult a medical professional.
I have not had a drop to drink. Just 6 Red Bulls.
Round 1. Energy boost. For many of us, this is the important bottom line when it comes to energy drinks, and for the most part, you can look at an energy drink's caffeine content per milligram as a good gauge for how much, quote, energy it's going to give you. As a baseline figure, it's worth noting that an average 8-ounce cup of coffee is said to give you around 95 milligrams of caffeine. An 8-ounce serving of Red Bull and Monster comes out at 75 milligrams and 85 milligrams respectively, so both of them offer slightly less caffeine than a cup of Joe.
Red Bull!
Yes, dear. Red Bull.
Keep in mind, however, that Monster energy cans typically come as 16-ounce servings, or twice the size of Red Bull cans. So in terms of caffeine content, you're getting twice as much with a can of Monster. But what about Prime energy drinks? Well, they blow both Red Bull and Monster out of the caffeine-laden water with around 135 milligrams for every 8-ounce serving. And just like Monster, Prime energy drinks usually come in 16-ounce bottles. So let's say you buy an average can of Red Bull, Monster, and Prime. You're looking at a caffeine content of around 75 milligrams, 170 milligrams, and 270 milligrams for each can respectively. Based purely on bottom line caffeine figures, this round goes to Prime energy drinks.
Red Bulls for pussies.
Round 2. Nutrition. Before you go running off and buying the energy drink with the most caffeine, you might want to consider nutritional information first, because this is where things get a little more complicated. In terms of calories, protein, and carbs, an 8-ounce serving of Red Bull and Monster are extremely similar, with Red Bull edging it slightly with marginally less calories and carbs. Once again, however, you need to consider that Red Bull cans are typically half the size of their Monster counterparts.
Kerosene is fuel, Brian. Red Bull is fuel. Kerosene is Red Bull.
Prime, on the other hand, claims to have next to no sugar, lower calories, and considerably more electrolytes than comparable servings of Red Bull and Monster. So at a glance, this might lead you to believe that Prime is the much healthier option. Well, to determine that, we have to again look at the caffeine content. While Prime energy drinks have far more caffeine than its competitors, some health professionals claim that it can be a dangerous amount of caffeine. It's said that the average adult should only consume around 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. That means that the average bottle of Prime energy is almost 3/4 of your daily caffeine intake at 270 milligrams. And if you're not used to high caffeine intake, downing a bottle of Prime could accelerate some high caffeine side effects, like headaches, getting the shakes, and insomnia. Of course, all 3 brands offer zero sugar versions of their popular drinks, so from a calorie counting point of view, that's always worth keeping in mind. However, due to its high caffeine content, we just can't give Prime the win for nutrition. So with Red Bull coming in more health appropriate servings, and with slightly less calories, the Bull brand gets the win for this round.
Can I try some Red Bull?
Oh my God, can you try some Red Bull? Chris, I take it as an insult if you didn't. Here you go, have some cans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go on, take it.
Round 3. Flavor. This round is of course very subjective, and each brand certainly has its flavour lovers and haters. Red Bull's signature taste has become somewhat of a benchmark for other brands, with some saying its sweet and sour taste is similar to licorice, and others saying that it tastes horrible like cough medicine. Red Bull's other flavour options are arguably even more controversial, with some of them being described as undrinkable, and even more medicinal tasting than the original.
That's Philly. Tastes like ass.
Monster's taste, on the other hand, has been described as more candy-like, with the brand offering a staggering amount of flavour options. The main downside of Monster is that their flavours can be so sharp that some simply find them overwhelming, and a similar thing can be said for Prime, with most of their flavours based around sweet fruits like raspberry, strawberry and lemon lime.
Hello, Rich here, the guy from the voiceover. Now, I thought if we're talking about flavour, I might as well go out to the shop, buy all 3 drinks, and have a little taste test myself, so that's exactly what I've done. I don't know which can or which bottle is where. I've had someone come in and randomise that for me. I covered my eyes. I've had Red Bull before. I know what Red Bull tastes like. The other 2, never had them before, Monster or Prime. You can purchase these drinks in the description below. If you click any of the links, you won't pay any more, but we might earn an affiliate commission as a result, which helps the channel. Gonna go down the middle first. That's Red Bull, 100%. Now, I've heard Monster energy drinks taste like sweets. I think that tastes like sweets. Let's try this one. Ooh, that's completely different to Monster. That's more like a fruit drink. Right, so I think that's Red Bull, that's Monster, and that's Prime, because that's like super fruity. Yep, spot on. In terms of which one I prefer, I'd probably say Monster. That's just really tasty. So in terms of ranking them, I'd go Monster, Red Bull, and Prime.
Based on the feedback from consumers and our quick taste test, we're giving this round to Monster, as there is bound to be a flavour out there that you like.
Monster Energy brings out the monster in you.
Round 4. Size. Value for money is usually the first thing people think of when it comes to energy drink servings, and from that perspective, Red Bull offers significantly less value than its competitors. Although Prime energy drinks saw a ridiculous hike up in price at launch, the hype has died down, and bottles of Prime can be bought for about the same price as equivalent Monster drinks. So yeah, Prime and Monster are better value for money per ounce than Red Bull. In fact, you will usually find that 8-ounce cans of Red Bull are comparable in price to the 16-ounce offerings from Monster and Prime. Size availability wise, Red Bull and Prime have slightly smaller options than Monster, with 8-ounce and 12-ounce cans respectively, but 16-ounce offerings for all three brands are typically readily available. You can't deny that Red Bull is the more expensive option of the three, but given everything we've said about caffeine and calorie figures and recommended daily intakes, we're going to give this round to Red Bull, purely based on the fact that its cans come in what we would consider more manageable, healthier sizes.
Together in one tiny bottle.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Round 5. Brand Legacy. Prime Energy is the odd one out here, mainly due to its infancy, and you could also argue that with its founders Logan Paul and KSI being YouTube stars, the Prime Energy brand's popularity could end up being as fleeting as the latest TikTok trend. Prime drinks continue to face scrutiny for their caffeine content too. Something like Celsius energy drinks are pretty similar. Celsius is a big up-and-comer in the energy drink arena, and the brand is getting a ton of love and media coverage right now, but that might pass. It could go on to become the next Red Bull, but it could just as easily become a social media footnote. Red Bull and Monster, on the other hand, have been around for quite some time, and have already established their own brand identities on various different platforms, sports being a big one. Both brands sponsor giant sports events, have huge brand ambassadors, and have their own world-renowned teams. You could argue that the two are a little like Coke and Pepsi, Red Bull being the bigger, more refined brand that's all about big money sports like F1, and Monster being the bohemian competitor who tends to dabble in more extreme sports like motocross and UFC. But which of the two has the better brand legacy? Well, Red Bull does have 15 years on Monster, arguably a more revered brand name, and it also has a significantly greater market share. So this last round goes to Red Bull. And after taking 3 of the 5 rounds, Red Bull comes out on top as the energy drink victor. So, did we pick the right winner? Which energy brand do you think is the best? Let us know down in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo for more epic versus videos. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.